Welcome back to this, already the final segment of my favorite radio show, The Price of Business. Glad to be with you, talking to you about you and your business. It's your business to keep aware of what's happening on the political front. You know, in no time at all, we'll be talking about presidential candidates. Well, normally the media, when there's a liberal darling on the GOP side, like Christie, you know, he's kind of hands off. The media doesn't want to hurt him, at least until he gets the nomination, and then they want to flush him down the toilet. Well, Christie, who's probably too large to flush down the toilet, but Christie, you know, he's taking a beating today, and a big one. And I got to tell you, Huffington Post has been all over him, like I had not really seen in quite a while on a moderate Republican. Here's a controversy that Mr. Christie has found himself engulfed in. This is by our friends from Fox News.
There's a controversy brewing in the Garden State of New Jersey as well. The newly public emails and text messages suggest that an aide to the New Jersey Governor, Christie, knew about an apparent revenge plot against a mayor who refused to endorse the governor for re-election. This has been big news in the tabloids here in New York City and surrounding New Jersey for a long time. State officials closed 2 lanes of traffic near a bridge in Fort Lee, New Jersey, back in September. Fort Lee's right on the other side of the busiest bridge in all the country on the very first day of school. It triggered hour-long traffic tie-ups. It was nightmarish over in Fort Lee. It delayed police and emergency vehicles. It was really awful. One official in charge of New York and New Jersey bridges, that's from the Port Authority, has already resigned. The mayor of Fort Lee, who's a Democrat and said to be a political rival, initially said the state was punishing him because he did not endorse Governor Christie. He later backed away from those comments, though. The GOP presidential favorite denies this was payback at all and says his staff was not involved. Governor Christie says the lane closures were part of a traffic study. But the emails that are out today, they are available out there. If you want to Google them, you can. The emails will be trouble for Governor Christie, at least in local politics, for quite some time. And if he decides to run for president, rest assured they'll end up in campaign ads. There's no question about it. They're an easy Google away if you want to take a look.
All right, so you got that. Apparently, he is involved in a huge controversy. I love it when they say he's the front runner, the GOP front runner. According to who? According to the media. The media, of course, thinks he's a darling. Talk to rank and file Republicans. He's pretty low on most of those lists. Well, this is what Mr. Christie had to say about the situation.
On assignment. Well, the governor has said that any action to close lanes on the GW Bridge as political retribution was, quote, both unsanctioned and unacceptable. People will be held responsible, he said.
Yeah, all of this started when the emails started to leak out that show a top Christie aide had lanes closed on the bridge to punish a Democratic mayor who refused to endorse the governor's reelection. This email from his deputy chief of staff to the Port Authority employee who oversees the bridge says, quote, time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee. That's where the mayor was from. And that is not all. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn has the latest on this. So, Eric, what do we expect here?
Yeah, Martha, we expect to hear a lot more from Governor Christie 2 hours from now when he will start to answer some of the growing questions about the bridge scandal that is now engulfing his administration. New revelations keep coming about some of the documents that suggest a Christie aide tried to engage in political payback during the re-election race. In September, 3 lanes at the George Washington Bridge in New Jersey were closed in Fort Lee, causing delays for emergency service vehicles and school buses, besides making a lot of people late for work. First responders were reportedly delayed and even getting help to a 91-year-old woman who later died. The tie-up supposedly intentionally caused in that political retribution effort because the Democratic mayor of Fort Lee did not endorse Christie's re-election bid for a second term. Well, emails and texts show Christie Deputy Chief of Staff Bridget Ann Kelly ordered the traffic problems. That's her on the right, and then gloating about that chaos. New York and New Jersey Port Authority official David Wildstein, who's a close high school friend of Christie and who he appointed to the government post, wrote to Kelly, quote, I feel badly about the kids, meaning the students stuck in those buses. They are the children of Buono voters, Kelly responds, referring to Christie's Democratic opponent at the time, State Senator Barbara Buono. Well, the governor said he did not know anything about the closures and has repeatedly said his administration was not involved, but now in a statement yesterday said, quote, I am outraged and deeply saddened to learn that not only was I misled by a member of my staff, but this completely inappropriate and unsanctioned conduct was made without my knowledge. One thing is clear, this type of behavior is unacceptable, and I will not tolerate it, so expect to hear a lot more in just under 2 hours from now,
yeah,
Martha.
we'll see if anybody gets fired in this news conference and exactly what the governor plans to do about it. So what investigations are there into all of this, Eric?
Yeah, there are a lot of them going on and seeming growing. A Port Authority Inspector's General report on this is due. Meanwhile, the New Jersey State Assembly Transportation Committee, well, they've been holding hearings with one more set for later today, and more are promised. And there are also calls for a potential U.S. Senate investigation. And Buono, who lost the race to Christie, is also calling on the U.S. Department of Justice to step in. So a lot is going on. We expect to hear a lot more in just 2 hours.
All right. Well, he'll step in front of the microphones and try to push back on this, we would imagine, and explain some of what happened and what he knew or didn't know about it. Eric, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to know what we got to do to actually get, some kind of investigation on Barack Obama.
I'm outraged.
Yeah, I'm outraged too. I want to know when in the world we're going to get Mr. Obama this kind of treatment for any one of his scandals. You see, he's got his administration implicated in Benghazi on several different fronts. Now they're talking about the situation, of course, with Fast and Furious, with at least a couple of U.S. Officials getting killed. God knows how many Mexicans were killed in that situation. What's your thoughts about all this outrage over Chris Christie, my friend, Sigmund Kramer?
Honestly, I'm not a Chris Christie fan. I never have been.
Nor I.
And I think that somebody was pointing out yesterday, I was driving home, and Hugh Hewitt had some guy call in from, he was a Jerseyite, right? He was somebody who had been born and raised in New Jersey, and he pointed out that it's the Jersey way that I'll get you. May not be now, may not be right now, but eventually I'll get you.
Well, whatever.
And I think that maybe that's, it doesn't surprise me that Christie's saying that he knew nothing about it, because it works so well for the Democrats to claim that. But I don't know, man. When you're the governor, you should know about stuff like that.
Personally, first of all, I'm no fan of Christie either. I like to call him the frumpy, grumpy, lumpy Mitt Romney is what I like to refer to him as. But the way he handled it from the beginning and how dismissive he was in the beginning makes me think he didn't know. Because he was like almost insulting to all the people that were inconvenienced in the first round of the response.
Wait, you think that he did not know?
He did not know until we start seeing these senior emails, senior staff emails going back and forth. Until then, I don't think he knew. I think he was as shocked as he actually pretended to be, or claimed to be, rather.
So you think he was telling the truth?
I do think he's telling the truth.
That may be the first time in the history of politics. No, I'm kidding. But, okay, well, that's good. I hate to think poorly of the man, but I'll tell you, he's a politician. And it wouldn't surprise me if he did something untoward. But, yeah, I'm cynical. I'm jaded.
You're pretty jaded. This is true. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I personally hope he gets destroyed by it, even though... even though I don't think he's guilty, because I don't want him to be the Republican nominee,
right.
and so let's force the media to look at someone else as a Republican nominee.
Who else is out there that you think has a chance of beating Hillary Clinton in a general election? Seriously,
I think there's at least 2 black Democrats that have a chance of beating Hillary for the nomination.
Okay. But
the governor of Massachusetts and the senator from New Jersey.
But if she is the nominee...
But see, there's no white guy that could beat either of those black guys. Because It's not fair. It's not fair for a white person to beat a black person, including in politics. I mean that in every way. It's not fair, according to the media standards that are...
politically correct.
Unless he's a conservative black. And he had no business running for office in the first place.
Well, then he's not really black,
He's
is
not
he?
black, yeah.
But Kevin, this is a discussion for a different day. I personally think we need to start getting ready for another Clinton term. in Washington, D.C.
Wow. Well, I hope you're so wrong. Although I would prefer Clinton over either the former, the current senator from Massachusetts and the governor senator from New Jersey and the governor of Massachusetts, because both of them are crazy bonker liberal, but
crazy.
Yeah, but I do not want to see Hillary get elected. But I'm afraid, the Republicans aren't offering any viable alternatives. Nothing to get excited about. I think we're going to see Democrats for quite some time.
Yeah. Oh boy! Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year! All right, when we come back tomorrow, much more for you. Between now and then, make sure you check us out online at priceofbusiness.com and usdailyreview.com. I'm Kevin Price with Sigmund Kramer. Have a great rest of the day. Spend it right here.